Alright, how's it going, everybody? So, I tried making a bass cover video for this song a while back, which is a great song. The last song off their last album, Beautiful Deformity. Really great, like, it's not a ballad and it's not a hardcore song, it's like in between. Just a great song, and I really wanted to learn it. Tried making a bass cover video for it, and Sony blocked it. And screw that shit. So, I decided if I can't play bass over the song, then I'm just gonna show people how to play it. Yeah. So I'll get right to it. I don't know exactly the point in which Rada comes in with the bass. I will post it in the annotation somewhere on the screen. But if you listen to the song, if you're a fan of the song, you pretty much know when the bass comes in. It doesn't start off right away. So first off, before I get into it, what you'll need, a pick, because he does play with pick. And your fingers are going to go all over the place. It's just a much easier song to play with a pick. Eventually, after a while, you'll learn the finger movements and you will be able to do it with your fingers if you prefer. I prefer pick with this song. And make sure to have some really heavy strings on your 4-string bass or have a 5-string. But I think this song's much harder to play in a 5-string. I do recommend a 4-string bass because of the smaller fretboard. Your hand is going to go all over the place. You're going to be stretching. I recommend a 4-string bass, but you're going to need heavy strings. I, for one, have 115 as my E string is 115. 65 to 115. It's a roto sound, true bass. They're black strings. I do apologize if they're hard to see, but yeah, they're black strings. These strings sound amazing. So just make sure that I'm not saying get these strings specifically. I'm just saying these strings are awesome. I just put them on. And you're going to need heavy strings at the very least, because he tunes really, really low for this song. So it's A sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. So A sharp, D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. Last string is C sharp. Get right into it. So when the bass comes in, you're going to want to start on the C sharp. All this, the first and second set of measures are... you just repeat them. You just repeat the first measure twice, and it's all done on the very last string, the C sharp. So I'll play it and explain it. And play that one more time. You got it. As I said, all one string. Follow the last string down here. So it's 10, 8, 10. 15, 13, 13, 12, 10. It's hard to say as fast as I'm playing, but I'll say 10, 8, 10, 15, 13, 13, 12, 10. Repeat that one more time. That's the beginning. Now, right before you can go into the next set, the third set of measures, like literally right before it, for like a quarter note, just hit, and you can choose to hit 10 one more time. The 10 is the last like note before you go into the really, really difficult part of the song. So you're ringing 10, and then play 10 one more time for like a quarter note or so, and then you can choose to slide it or go to the next part, which is the 17th fret of the C sharp string. That's up to you, whatever's easy for you. Sometimes I slide it, sometimes I don't, because sometimes you play differently, you know, so... And I'll play the next part, which is the hardest part of the song. I will play it in its entirety first. Then I will do my best to explain it. Keep in mind, the next part of the song is the most difficult, hands down. It is ridiculous what Rada came up with for the song, because it's like its own tune within this song. Like, he plays this like an electric guitar, like it's its own rhythm behind the rhythm that's already created through from the guitars, and Ruki's voice comes in at this point. And it's just, this is what, like, listening to this and then looking at the tab, I was like, this is amazing. And this is what inspired me to try to learn this song, is the next part. So I'll play it and I'll do my best to explain it. So again, 10. as I said, get comfortable here because I'm be talking a lot now. So this is going to take the most time to learn. So I'll do my best, and I'm putting the tab down below. Feel free to go along with that. Watch the video, pause, rewind, do whatever you got to do. So you probably will be looking at the tab, playing along with the tab, trying to figure out this video too. This part's really difficult to learn. So start on this part, first set of measure. I'm going to be, if you can see, C sharp is going to be the 17th fret, and I recommend using the ring finger for that. And then G sharp, 15th fret, and I recommend using the index finger, so your hand will be looking like this for a little bit. Got a little bit of a crab mouth to going. Look at that. We got a little crab. We got a little crab. Okay. I don't know why I just did that. Whatever. I just noticed how I look in the video. Just got a little, look at a little poke. So we got 17th, C sharp, 15th. So play it along and explain it. I play it wrong. I get confused with this all the time because sometimes I play it like it's not the case. Like I'm supposed to be playing it 17, 15, 17. So it's 17, 15, 17, 15. What will screw you up the most in this part is how long you should be holding the 15th fret. You can play it like or you can, like, he holds the 15th fret for like a good second and then gets back to the 17th, like a little bit before a second. Like, play the 17th one fast, but hold the 15, 17, hold 15, 17, hold the 15, 17, 15 on the C sharp, back to 17. So try to follow along with my hand. 17, 15, 17, 15. So the last part, you do play fit. So this part, how he puts the end to that measure is you don't, yes, your index finger will be on the 15th fret, but it'll be on the 15th fret of the C sharp string. So the whole time when you were doing this, where your index finger was on the 15th fret of the G sharp string, the last 15th note that you play it on the C string. So the one you've been playing the 17th fret on, play that last 15th note on the C string. So I'll play it one more time. Hopefully you get the idea. Please check out the tab if I'm not explaining this correctly. I'm trying my hardest. It's a really hard part to explain. So now this next part is going to be utilizing probably a part of your hand you probably don't really use much. It's really hard. At first I played it with my ring finger. I'd like stretch it down, but I really recommend, I know for some, bass players and guitar players, the hardest part is utilizing your pinky into playing like smoothly without, like taking a second to pause and get over there. But so this whole entire time, it was index finger 17th note, 17th fret of the C sharp string. So after you get done playing that part, you're going to want to stretch your pinky over to the 20th fret of the C sharp. So it is ridiculous. You're keeping your index finger on the 15th fret of the G sharp string. So let me see if you can see it. But like right there, that's pretty much how your hand should look. 20th fret of the C sharp string, 15th fret of the G sharp string. Oh, I am on the wrong fret right there. Sorry about that. I don't know why it was on the D sharp string. So pretty much that's how your hand's about to look. Looks a little painful, actually. So yeah, don't hold that for too long. So yeah, I'll play it real quick and do my best to explain it. Rarely do you play a measure where you're going to be utilizing all four of your fingers to, execute the measure, like, in a really good way. But you're going to be doing it here. Have fun. So, pinky, 20th fret of the C sharp string, index, 15th. Pretty much the same rhythm as the last measure was played. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's instead of your index, the ring finger being on the 17th fret, it's your pinky now being on the 20th fret. But the last three notes, the way he closes out this measure, I recommend using your ring finger and then using your middle, and then the beginning of the next measure, we're going to be going back to the index. So you're going to be, it's like a sliding, like, kind of think of like a smooth, like, pinky, ring, middle, back to the index. So I'll play that beginning and you'll see what I'm talking about. So ring finger on the 19th and play it twice on the C sharp string. And then end this measure out with the middle finger back on the 17th fret. So the last three notes sound like this. Now we're going, like as I said, we're going back to the index, and this is the beginning of the new one. This one I prefer to just use my index finger, just using one finger, and what I'll do is it's 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. So just like kind of practice that motion. What I recommend doing is you're going to be starting on the C sharp, then G sharp, both the 15th fret. So the first one's played in C sharp, and then when you get to the G sharp 15 and come back down to the C sharp 15, what I do is I hold down the C sharp string with like the bottom of my finger, but I use the fingertip to push up the G sharp string so that it mutes it. So the C sharp 15th fret is played clearly, and then I can just easily press down my fingertip for the G sharp 15th fret to be played. So you just kind of do that. So this is played like that. I know it's confusing as hell, but it's the best way to play it in my opinion. So this is the next part, and if you play it, you'll understand what I'm saying. So the part where I'm talking about with the one finger is played like this. So then at the end, I move my index finger from the 15th fret of the C sharp string to the 13th fret of the same string. Play that twice. And then you can use your middle or ring, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And then back to the 15th fret of the C sharp string. So that's how it's ended. It kind of ends the way the last measure ends, with the double 19, 17. So this ends with a double 13, 15. And that's the end of the last one, which is somewhat similar to the very first set of measures of 17, 15, but it's played differently. It's kind of like 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, and then it goes 15, 15, 15, and then it's, I'll show you. So, was what we just last played, so here's the new set. So 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 15, 15, and then the last part, how he ends this off, is he holds the 13th frets of both the C sharp and G sharp string. You play that together and you slide them both down to the 15th fret. So it's a chord, a bass chord, something you don't hear much, but that's how we decided to end this set. So it's so you slide that down really fast because he's going right back to play the same exact thing. So just replay what I just showed you. So you're going back to the, and then back to that. But when you get to the, so I'll just play it again so you get the idea, and then I'll stop where he makes a little change, and then we get to the next part of the song, and this is when things get easier, I promise. So just play that one set of measures. We just slid from 13 to 15, and then we'll say, so 13 to 15. So instead of when you do the 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, then you go to 15, 15, 15, then slide again, you take that part out and you just hold that, sorry, you hold that 17, let it ring, and then you go to the open A sharp string. So I'll play that last part like this. You kind of play that 17, I think it's 4 times. 5 times. It's either 4 or 5 times, but so yeah, I think it's 5 times. And then we're gonna go, this is when the song gets heavy and Ruki sings and he's holding that note and the drums are going and the so this is really easy. You should get this immediately. So you hold that 17th note on the C sharp string for a little bit, then you go to the open string of the A sharp string. So your heavy string, open, so just follow along, and then you play that like this. And then once you get to that, you go to the next string, the D sharp string, right? I always have to remind myself. Yes, the D sharp string. And you go to the 4th fret, and you play that for just as long as you play the open string, and then you go to the 3rd fret, and you play that just as long. So it all sounds like this. This will be easy to play. You'll get this right away. So actually now listening to it, you actually play the open string a little bit longer than you play the 4th and the 3rd. So you play that twice. Now on the second time, you're playing it just like you normally would, but once you get done with the 3rd, instead of transitioning back to the same thing and doing that over again, you go back to the 4th string, 4th fret of the D sharp string, and you play this. Now I hit some other strings there on accident, sorry about that, but as I said, the tab's in the bottom, you'll get the idea. So you play the 4th fret of the D sharp string like this. So dun dun dun, then one more of the 4th fret, but you slide that down to the 11th fret and play this. So now when you slide it down all the way to the 11th fret, you see, I kind of do this. So I do use my index. It'd probably be a little bit wiser to use your middle finger. As you'll see here, so you slide it down. Then on the 10th fret of the G sharp string, you play. So slide it down. So you get to try to find the rhythm for it. Rhythm is really important for this. So like I said, let's say you feel more comfortable like me playing this on your index finger. So you slide that 4th fret down to the 11. Then with your index, go to the 10th fret of the G sharp string, so the one right below it, and then right back using your middle finger to the 11th fret. So you slide it down. I would say as soon as your finger reaches the 11th fret, when you slide it down, use your finger to go to the 10th fret of the string right below it and play that. So after you slide that down and play the 10, 11, go right back to the 4th fret and play. It's hard to talk and do it, but. So, boom, 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 boom. So, if you can, try to follow my hands. We'll play that one more time. So, it's bump, bump, boom. So. So you go to the 3rd, so the bump, bump, boom, bump, bump is the 4, all on the D sharp string, 3, then you come down to the A sharp string, 3, and then open. So. So 3, 3, open. One more time. But you don't just leave it open and let it ring. You open like that same amount of rhythm. So the open is played just like this for the first time. That's the first one. So you do the same exact thing, go back to the 4th fret, play that same exact thing, but then he adds a little something special, I guess you could say. So I'll play it, and I'll explain it. So you play that, and you're going back to the 4th fret of the D sharp string. And you'll see what's different. So yeah, you're gonna have to go down here really fast, and you're gonna be going all over the fretboard again. So when you're doing the whole open rhythm, you're gonna want to go do one more open note, and then go to the 8th fret of the D sharp string. So I'm gonna play it. Try to figure out what I'm saying. So that's the usual rhythm. But what I mean by adding one more open is, so you'll say. See, you see that, you hear that extra open at the end, and then you immediately go to the 8th fret, hold that, then quickly play 2 more 8th frets on the D sharp string. Then this is where it gets really tricky. So when you hold that 8, and press the 2 8s down really quickly, and strum the 2 8s down really quickly in the D sharp string, what you're going to want to do is, using my index, go to the 11th fret of the G sharp string. So 11, ring on the 13th of the G sharp, ring on the C sharp 13, middle finger on the 12th fret of the C sharp string, and play that twice. And the last note, index finger, 10th fret of the G sharp string. And you just let that ring for a little bit. Well, you're going to be immediately going back to the 4th fret and playing that all over again with a different ending. But let me play it one more time. Look at the tab, rewind, pause, whatever you got to do, you'll get it. So you'll understand the rhythm, and also listen to the song, because you will actually hear this part very clearly. If you have headphones with good bass, you will hear Rada play this part. and it's because he's going on these strings like out of nowhere, and you will hear the do 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 do. You'll say. So 8, 8, 8, 10, 13, 13, 12, 12, 10, 8, 8, 8, 11, 13, 13, 12, 12, 10. Practice that. That part's a little tricky. I will not lie. I kind of lied when I said it gets easier. That part's a little tricky. So you're going to go back to the right after doing the, then back to the 4th fret of the D sharp string and play exactly what we played one more time, and I'll show you how it ends differently this time. This is where it gets different. Instead of going to the 3rd fret, then 3rd fret, then open and playing again, you stop at that 4th, and we're going to go to the 11th fret of the G sharp string. So let me play that. Screw that up. So the So you go to the 11th on the G sharp string. So you play the 11th, hold it for a little bit of a second, and play it one more time. Then the 13th of the G sharp string, I recommend using a ring finger. You'll get the rhythm, and it was just like, this is a good way to end a measure. So it's, so 11, 11, 13, back to the 11th, go to the 11th on the next string up, the D sharp string, then open on the A sharp string. So if you can, try to follow my fingers. So you leave it open, and this is when the breakdown happens. So the this is that part. So so right before the breakdown, as the open string and the A sharp string is ringing, you go to the 8th fret of the D sharp string and go. Now this part is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 6, 6. So 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 6, 6. And then this is the breakdown. This is a little tricky because you're going to have to really be using your hands really fast. So it's, so 078, 032, 032, then to the D sharp string, 6, 8. So first few notes, A sharp string. So actually, I played that wrong. So, but the 078, 032, 032 on the D sharp string, 6, 8. And really listen to how the guitars are played. You really want to follow along with the guitars on this part. So there's two different ends to this, you'll see. So you play that part 078, 032, 032, 068. Then you play 078, 032, 02, 033, 022. So it sounds something like that. So really follow the guitars in that part. So after you play we're going to go back to the 078, 032, 032, 68. And then we're going to play the next measure after that a little differently. So we'll play that. So this is, so after you play the 078, 032, 032, 068 for the second time, then what we're going to play is 078, 032, 03, 02222, 3333. So. And then we're going to go back to the original 2 sets of and then when you get to play that for the second time, then you just open string on the A sharp string. Just open note on the A sharp string. Let it ring. This is the part where I really recommend listening to the song because you'll understand how long to let it ring. And honestly, just hit it as hard as don't hit it as hard as you can so it's not just a brrr. Hit it hard so it lasts, but keep it smooth. So it's ringing. Then what you want to do is prepare because Rada's about to go back to the first thing that he plays to in the beginning of the song. So we're going to go to on the C sharp string, back to the skinniest string on the bass. So 10, 8, 10. Now this is where things get different. He goes to the 15th fret of the C sharp, but instead of going to the 13, then 13, 12, 10, what he does is he goes to the 15 and then back to 10. So I'll play it, you'll say. So 10, 8, 10, 15, 10, 13, 12, 10, 10, 8, 10, 15, 10, 13, 12, 10. And then we go back to the open. And you pretty much learn the whole entire song at that point. Because you're playing you're doing 2 sets of that again, then open, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then back to the, so you play that, and then you go back to the, so you're doing the same exact thing. The chorus is exactly the same as the first chorus. That whole 4, 4, 4 slide 10, 11, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 0, 0, 0. Like that same exact way you played it. The only difference is the very last note. So when you get to the part, just kick my keyboard, woot. When you get to the part where you play, you let that open string ring. Just let it ring for the rest of the song. Your bass will stop before the song ends, actually. So this is how the song ends. When you get to the very end, just let that ring. And then the song just steadily dies down. And that's it. The end part is simple because you already played it in the middle of the song. The hardest part about the song is the very beginning. And yeah, that's the part I wish you the most luck on because that is the most difficult. So like I said, tab is in the bottom. If I was talking too fast or you didn't understand it or just terms you didn't understand, whatever, tab in the bottom, follow the tab, follow the video. Songster is really useful. I cannot recommend that website enough. And that's it. This video is going on for almost 35 minutes and that's a really long bass tutorial video. Really sorry, but there's a lot to explain in this 4.5 minute song or however long. So hope that helped. I really do. And at least I couldn't make my bass cover. At least I got a tutorial out, and I hope it helped. So have a good day, everybody.